Hello everyone, Timotherius or Tim again. I wanted to make another video because clearly lately my videos have been kind of personalized and not really focused on gaming. I do have a different video planned to, make more sense of my gaming side. Cause I'm thinking of changing this channel into a more personalized channel in terms of like me just, throwing my feelings out there in the world. I guess I'm gonna be my own therapist. But anyways, that's for a different video because that video will probably be the next. For this video, I wanted to talk about insecurities because it's something that guys in general just don't talk about that often because they either try to hide it because, if you talk about your insecurities, especially as a man, you are deemed as weak. And some women say, oh no, we like men who can tell what they're feeling. But then once men do, like 6 out of 10 people, they will completely not take it seriously. And that's just how the fucking world works. But since I'm not in a relationship and I don't really give a fuck, I'm just gonna tell you about my insecurities, because that's a list, I'll tell you that. Most people don't really, I think most people face with this, but everyone faces with different issues when it comes to insecurities. For me, it's of course I am very insecure in a lot of my physical attributes. Also like how I present myself as a person. Like how I carry myself. I am not much of a person to stand up for myself. I easily let people walk all over me. I've been trying to get better at that, and it's slowly improving, but I'd say sometimes it still happens, and I'm still like, I should chew more away from me and not let other people control me. Although it can still happen from time to time. Other than that, there's the physical attributes that I am very insecure of, like my acne. I have a shit ton of acne. It doesn't really show in photos that I post online, because I have a Samsung Galaxy phone, and they like to clean up the face a bit. Let me tell you that. But the colors are not accurate. The detail is not accurate at all. I'd say it's probably one of the weaker side of a Samsung phone. But yeah, generally acne is a big insecurity. I'd say that's like top 1 or like top 5, and it's on number 1. Cause I've been trying to get rid of it, and I put all kinds of stuff on my face to like disappear, like to make it disappear, but my skin does not like it because it turns either very red and patchy, or it turns into dry desert. It's just, there's no good detail. Like I've tried smaller portions or lighter portions and stuff like it, and all kinds of skincare stuff, and it just doesn't work. So I've kind of given up on trying to get rid of it, but you could say you have to give up eating chocolate or drinking chocolate. That's basically telling me to fucking die, because I cannot live without chocolate. And then we have other things that bother me, because I grew up in quite a tiny house. So being very tall, I'm 6'2", or in centimeters, I'm 187 centimeters. And I know, like, being tall for a guy, it's completely good. But there's lots of things you have to like reach for down, like doing the dishes and stuff. Like I keep bending my back, and I'm not very I mean, I wouldn't really probably say that those are insecurities, but in where the insecurity comes from is as a shy person, I don't like to stick out like a sore thumb. And when I walk with people who are like not as tall as me or like are tinier than me, that's when I feel like I'm gonna be like the point of attention. And as someone with social anxiety, that just doesn't really work. It really feels like people are staring you that way. And then we have my face. I feel like my proportions aren't very symmetrical. My nose seems to go like more one direction than the other. My lips, they're dry as fuck, and I try to not lube it up. No. I try to like drink a lot and make sure that they're not dry, but it's generally just a thing that happens. And even if I put like what's that thing called, where you moisturize your lips, I guess. It's not lipstick, definitely not lipstick, but it sure as hell kind of feels like it is. But yeah, that shit doesn't always work because it makes your lips just feel like, I don't know, I don't like the feeling or texture of it. And then we have my very unnatural voice. I feel like this only goes for my... Actually no, when I hear my Dutch voice in a recording, it's cringe. I know this is like this is probably the issue that most people have, like hearing their own voices in a recording. It's awkward, I know. But for me, I feel like because I don't know why I feel uncomfortable with the way I speak in English specifically. It's because the intonations I don't get right, and I feel like I'm talking with half my mouth closed and with lots of saliva. But that's because I had an operation when I was a child with my lungs, and I think an after effect of it is just me getting too much saliva. And guess what language uses the most saliva, or like the most mouth movements to make a sound? And it requires like a certain tone move where saliva comes into play a lot. English. Of course it's gonna be English. But yeah, that's the insecurity I have when it comes to my voice. And then we have the next one. Personality. I feel like I'm so dry as a personality. I feel like that's why I couldn't make good content for so fucking long, because I don't know what the fuck to do half the time or what to talk about for the most of the period of time that I talk. And then it quickly just becomes like, okay, well, I have to edit this to make it seem more funny and be random, and I end up being like, I feel like I'm being a retard, if I can say that on YouTube. Probably not, but then anyway, this video is not gonna be it's not gonna be monetized to begin with. But yeah, I feel like my personality is super dry. I sometimes can, I mean, I'm not knowledgeable in anything. I'm not very good at video games either, so even if I make gaming content, I feel like I'll run out of things to say if I'm on my own a lot. That's why you'll see what I talk about in the next video about the gaming stuff, because I've got some ideas for it. But yeah, I feel like my personality on its own, it's a big insecurity of mine, because I feel like I'm not bringing a lot of things to the table. Even if I'm like in Dutch, it's the same thing. My personality, like, people come to me talking about things that I'm not very interested in, and I mean, I have barely anyone in my country that has the same interest, or any online friends that have the exact same interests, because we're all different people. But I just don't really deal with being different too well, I would say. And I feel like I'm always like, yikes, I'm being like very rude because this person is trying to talk to me about something that they find interesting, but I can't delve deep in what they find interesting, and I'm not much to talk about my own interests anyway. Like I talk about the same things every fucking time my dad visits me. I'm like, smartphones, PC hardware, games. Of which he only cares about PC hardware a little bit. But that's all I bring to the table. I don't bring anything new, or like if he talks about his gardening, I'm like, that's cool stuff, but I feel like I'm coming over as, yeah, that's cool, dude. I'm not interested though. That's how I feel like I come across. And I know not everyone has to like anyone else's stuff, but I feel like if this is all I bring to the table, I'm gonna be a very boring friend, and especially if I ever visit my friends, I won't fucking know how to talk to any of them, or I'll be very boring or very quiet. And I feel like that shit is a big insecurity of mine. I'm very insecure of like how I bring myself to the table and with my topics and stuff, and how I am as a personality. My personality is very dull. And then we have, I mean, these two kind of go together. How I stand and how I walk. My posture, pretty much. You know the virgin walk? That's how I normally walk. I used to not be able to like walk normally. Like there would be no rhythm and no like right hand movements. Like it would feel odd, and I'll feel like the more people that look at me walking, the more I would get insecure and like almost curl up in a ball, pretty much. And until I like completely close down. Somehow I still have managed to do the shopping and stuff like that just fine. Although if there's a lot of people behind me in a row, even if they say like take your time, it's good, I won't I won't calm down, because I feel like, oh god, I know what they're thinking. They're all trying to like, oh, this dude is not hurrying up, he's taking forever. And I deal with that shit very bad, because I feel like I don't stand in anyone else's way. I really don't. And you can just completely see it, and that's what a lot of people in my childhood took advantage of, because I'm very visibly insecure, visibly anxious, visibly anxious, yes. And that's just how I am, and I've always been, and that even though I can sound like I'm in control of everything, or how I just, talk about this shit, because I don't think a lot of people with all these issues can just say this into a mic. But yeah, that's just how I am, and those are my insecurities. There's way more that I could list, but I think that these are the most important ones, because they're physically about me, and what goes to my day-to-day life. So yeah, that was my insecurity video, I guess. Do look out for the gaming announcement, because I'm trying to get back into the gaming scene. It's not gonna be anything special, but yeah, look out for that video, and until then, bye.